All right, hey gang, we're going to talk about solving equations with fractional coefficients. We're going to look at number 2 to start. I decided to rewrite it over to the side where I had more room so I can work down. I noticed the variable is an r. And I want to get the r by itself. I need to undo the operations in reverse order. So I'm going to get rid of adding -10. You could subtract -10, or subtracting -10 is the same as adding 10. So I'm just going to add 10 to both sides. So they would cancel out. I end up with -1/2 r is equal to 12. When you have a fractional coefficient like we do here, a reminder is, when you multiply, the inverse is to divide. But since we're multiplying by a fraction, instead of dividing by -1/2, we don't want to do that in Algebra 2. What do we know about dividing by a fraction? It's the same as multiplying by a reciprocal. So I want to multiply both sides of this equation. I'm going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal of the -1/2. What's the reciprocal of -1/2? -2/1. Not 2/1, -2/1. We're not talking about opposites. People get this confused with opposites. We're talking about reciprocals. Reciprocal of -1/2 is -2/1. And you do that to the other side also. When you multiply reciprocals together, it gives you a 1. And 1 times r is just r. So I got r by itself. On the other side, positive times a negative is a negative. 12 times 2 is 24, -24. What I'm doing next is I just tapped everything in the calculator. I'm doing a check step. Oops, so we can get that shown there. I'm taking the original equation, -10, added to -1/2 times r, which is -24. When I press the enter sign, I get a 2, which tells me that both sides are 2, so that means this has to be the correct solution. All right, let's do one more of these together. I took number 5 and I rewrote it over to the sides. So again, I have more room to work down. Notice the variable is a v, and it's being multiplied by -3/2 and added to 15. So I get rid of the adding 15 first. Subtract -15 on both sides. I get -5 on this side. And this side I have -3/2 v still there. Bring down the equal sign. I need to undo the multiplication by -3/2. I need to get rid of this. And how am I going to do that? Remember, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. Now, I left enough room right in here to squeeze it in. I'm going to put it on this side. And since I have -5 over here, I'm going to put that in parentheses. And then -3/2 v. There's that negative sign right there. I'm going to use a reciprocal, which is -2/3. Do that to both sides. So on the left side, negative times a negative is a positive. 2 times 5 is 10. It'd be 10/3. On the other side, multiplying reciprocals, you get a 1. And 1 times the variable v is a v. And 3 goes into 10 3 whole times, which equals 9. So you have a remainder of 1/3 is the exact solution. If you substitute 3 1/3 in the original equation where v is, multiply times -3/2, add -15, that answer should be a 10. If it is, that means both sides are equal, and this has to be correct. Always can check. Get a calculator out and check it.